Well, you have to go over a lot of possibilities, and I'm not sure there is a single word. There was a point I thought it might be gallant, it might be spirit. I just was thinking about saying something else, and the word grace came into my mind, and I think I'll leave it at grace.
Character.
Dignified.
Idealistic.
Humanist.
He's an optimist.
Ultimate loyalty.
Quietly charismatic.
Strength.
Perceptive.
I think I would just say kind.
If I had to summarize Sheldon in a single word, it would be that he's a noble man.
That's 2 words, Kip.
Noble.
Oh, okay.
Sheldon Hackney was born in Birmingham, Alabama. He attended Vanderbilt, where he met his future wife Lucy, served for 5 years in the Navy, got his Ph.D. at Yale, and then was hired by Princeton, where he specialized in Southern history. Later, he accepted the positions of provost at Princeton, president of Tulane University, and president of the University of Pennsylvania. Then, after decades in academia, he was appointed to chair the National Endowment for the Humanities by President Clinton.
Sheldon Hackney, grew up in Birmingham, called Birmingham in those days, probably the most violently racist city in the country.
We had a mother-in-law who was a true force in civil rights in the South. Everybody was angry at them because, they supported Rosa Parks.
Came out of the South, very committed to the civil rights movement. I think that's what motivated his engagement with education and, of course, with Southern history, which was his academic field.
There were civil rights issues, there was Johnson's war on poverty, then there was the Vietnam War, then there was a tremendous amount of unrest at the universities with students protesting and wanting more say. And Sheldon was involved in all of that.
It was very clear that Sheldon brought certain things to Penn, which were very critically important to the development of the university.
He cared about learning, about curiosity. He was a person of the highest integrity in his leadership of Penn, and it made me proud to be part of the faculty.
We taught together, we taught graduate students together, and it was fantastic. We would have the seminar in his office. He was at one end of the table, I was at the other, and the students were in the middle, and we, argued about the books. I learned an enormous amount from him.
Meeting Sheldon changed my life, it really did. In moments when I get impatient with my own students, I remember how patient he was with me and how generous.
Under that kind of calm exterior lies somebody who's super competitive. I knew I was going to have to earn it, and I finally beat him. Jumped over the net, and he was happy. He was gracious in the loss, but I knew that I had earned it.
One of the things that he and Lucy in particular brought to the island is the capacity to bring people together.
I think the warmth of Sheldon encourages play.
Sheldon, to me, was like an indulgent brother.
And he and Lucy have created a wonderful family and a home that is really a center for so many of us on the Vineyard.
Sheldon joined the museum at a time that the institution was emerging from a historic society focusing on research into a full-fledged museum with exhibitions, programs, and a mission to find a new home.
He loved the work that it took, and he devoted days, 3, 4, 5 days a week sometimes.
We were so glad that Sheldon had become involved with the project of the museum because we knew that he would bring to it really an enormous amount of insight and knowledge of American history.
I think he really believes in what they're trying to do and the new building and how important it is for people who are here to understand the history of the island and also the people who come here so they can really understand what the island's all about.
I can't really think of a more fitting tribute to Sheldon than the completion of this museum, which is about to be launched on Sheldon's watch. Well done.
Onward.
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 I think Sheldon uses the word onward every day.
I think it's just his way of he was just always moving forward, It's always on to the next thing. Something bad happens, something good happens, we're moving on.
Onward.